Kalimera, Kalispera, whatever time you are watching, this is Mappa. It is the first Protathlima review pod of the season. Thassos here, but we have a special guest that's obviously more important than us. This gentleman, he is the host of the Talking Kit podcast. He's also done a bit for United Stand. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was on Saeed's podcast the other day. Doublea, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for having me on. It's an absolute pleasure. Out of my comfort zone and looking forward to seeing what you've got lined up for me. But no, it's a pleasure to be asked to be here.
Have you ever been to Cyprus on holiday?
Yes. It's weird when you think what they're going to ask me, and I thought I've been twice. Once I was really young, and 2007 last time I went. My mum and my stepdad actually got married in Paphos, so I was there for 2 weeks. Really nice, nice time. It's a lovely country. Not accustomed to the football so much. A little bit, obviously. We spoke off air about Manchester United in the Europa League last season, but no, I'm looking forward to seeing what treats you have lined up today.
Excellent. Well, we ask our guests the same question when it comes to Cyprus and their experience of Cyprus. Now, there's a term that we say, this is Cyprus. And by that, I mean, if you see a donkey walking down the street and is causing a traffic jam, this is Cyprus. You just explain the unexplainable by saying this is Cyprus. Hence the reason why this show is called This is Mappa, because Mappa is a Cypriot word for football. Yeah. So did you see anything that might make you remember this is Cyprus? Is there anything that you saw that was a bit strange, perhaps?
I'm trying to think back now. Not really. I think it's because it was a normal holiday. I think because it was like a family thing and it was like an occasion. I think everyone was kind of locked in. I'm sure if I'd have planned this, I'm sure I would have some stories actually. Like nights out.
Did they lose your luggage? Did you get it on time?
No. Do you know what? No. I tell you what. I don't think he was Cypriot, but there was a lad working out there, and he looked like Jonah Hill from Superbad, right? And he was a menace. He was one of them. Like he'd latch onto you, and me being a bit happy, friendly. He was working in the bars, a bit of promo and stuff. And I remember I borrowed him €20, and I never saw it again. And I was absolutely livid that I got rinsed off Jonah Hill.
He's from Cyprus.
You think?
Yeah. We all know a guy like that. We all know a guy like that in our families, man.
I remember his name. He's called Sam as well, and he was from London. And do you know what? He had all his skin. He could have been Cypriot, but I didn't ask his history, to be honest with you. I didn't ask about his family history. But he robbed €20 off me, and to this day, it burns a little bit, to be honest.
Well, Sam, if you're watching, pay him back. You know where he's at.
Yeah.
His Twitter handle is down there. Don't worry about it. We'll stick it in the description as well. Get in touch with him, Sam.
Thank you.
Lovely. Excellent. Right. Thassos, where shall we begin? Do you want to roll the dice? Do you want to pick a game to bring up?
I don't know. Just point out something and let's see.
For crying out loud. I'll bring up Buffalo against Garmiodisa. Buffalo with a 3-0 victory over Garmiodisa. A new look Buffalo. I don't know how many signings that they've made. But their new head coach is... Go on, Thassos.
Their new head coach is an old assistant of Unai Emery. Villa. Anyway, no, this is not that kind of podcast. But yeah, he seems to have them lined up fairly similar to kind of how they started last season, I think, albeit with a bit more of an attacking intent, at least against Garmiodisa anyway. They kind of had a bit too much for this team. I just want to keep an eye out for when Garmiodisa concede the third goal, because there's a discussion to have there. But yeah, Bafo absolutely dominant, barely a shout for Garmiodisa. Ivicic, I think, had 2 saves to make. There you go. There's the first goal that's just been shown on the screen now. Jairo getting in. Yeah, starting off where he finished last season. Top goal scorer last season. No.
Shit defending. Backstep.
Yeah, shit defending.
Rubbish.
Shit keeping. And Bruno gets an assist for once.
Oh yes, Bruno Mars. Yes.
Nice for him to get one. But yeah, just on the Garmiodisa side, it looks like they're really missing, the El Alucci, Knockbloch, however you pronounce it, Galzaz. All these players that have gone, they've kind of replaced them with these new players that don't seem to be kind of doing the same kind of things that these players that have gone. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Kind of expected score a little bit, considering the gap in skill between the two teams. But yeah, the amount of dominance Paphos had, I think, was a little bit surprising. No,
mate, I watched the whole game, and for I'd say 49, 50, 55 minutes, it was just Garmiodisa with basically 10 players behind the ball, 2 banks of 4, but they were so deep as well. And yeah, they were organized at times, but they're going to really struggle this season, I'm telling you. And this goal, blimey.
Fantastic goal. Beautiful
He had
goal.
no right to do that.
Beautiful goal.
Fantastic. Dragomir. But yeah. So look, Carcedo has come in. Obviously, he's got his own plan. I'm surprised that he didn't bring in any bigger names, because we heard that they were talking to people like Eden Hazard. They approached Eden Hazard. They approached Sergio Ramos. Obviously, those deals didn't happen. But look, at the end of the day, they want to build on last season. They got to the semi-finals of the Cup. They finished outside the top 4, which they're not going to be too happy with. Mm-hmm. So let's see what happens with them this season, because last year they had Henning Berg at the beginning of the season. They sacked him halfway through. Salgado came in and he did well-ish, but they didn't reach their targets. And I think, with Dubov and Mendieta on the board, they're obviously going to want to kick on from last season. And here's the third goal. What a strike.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, it's a good strike, but there's an angle to this goal. You see Anesti in the Garmiodisa goal. He kind of just sits down and lets it go past him. Like when
are you suggesting he just allowed it to roll in?
Listen, this is why I wanted to have this discussion here when this comes in. I mean, you can kind of see the save is kind of half-hearted from here, but this is the angle. Like, what is that?
I don't know, man. I think he thought it was going wide. I'm not suggesting that anyone's put any bets on 2.5 goals. That wouldn't happen in Cyprus.
We have
a guest here.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, that's going to be in 2 weeks' time when we have that discussion. Anyway, if the September is the court date, so we'll see what goes on with that. Enough. But yeah, I don't know. It just looked a bit dodgy for me. You should be reaching out, stretching to get balls like that, regardless of whether you think it's going out or not. Because there could be somebody sneaking in the back post that could get a hold of it before it goes out.
Of course, but maybe the goalkeeper was worried that if he did palm it out, it would have gone straight out to the striker that was lurking. So maybe he thought it was going out.
Got it. He could have got it. That's what I mean.
What do you want me to tell you? I'm listen, the goalkeepers union.
Yeah, in most cases we're goalkeepers union, but I think that's a bad mistake. I don't.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's ask our guest what he made of that performance. From the highlights that you saw, my friend, were you a little bit impressed with something?
I think it's wild that you're talking about the third goal mistake, when that first goal was one of the worst goalkeeping errors I think I've ever seen. At first, I thought he had a hole in his stomach. I didn't realize it went through his legs because it didn't look. I thought, how has it gone through him from that angle? And it was, we had the goalkeepers just have holes in the stomach in Cyprus, or maybe I don't know.
It was his debut. That's the only thing I can say.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, okay. So the only way he's up then. Yeah. I mean, he can't get any worse than that, I guess. I mean, so some of the defending, like you said, was a bit comical. I think at times, and you look and you think, maybe I could still play. Maybe I could still.
There you go.
I'll give a little bit, but then you think, no, not at all. The second goal was stunning. What a hit that was. Like you said, all right to be doing that. With the box as crowded as it was, he picked that top corner out beautifully. And I have to disagree on that third goal. I think it's a well placed shot, and I think the keeper maybe doesn't realise he's as far over as he is. I think he maybe thinks he's near that post a little bit though, and that's why he doesn't go, because he thinks maybe it might be going wide, so maybe he's just positionally wrong. But yeah, I think it looked like a entertaining game. It looked like sort of not so much end to end, but there was a lot of action. There was a lot of sort of attacking, which is what you want in football. We don't want these boring just hoof. And I've watched my team, Manchester United, twice this season. I'd want a bit of that. I'm telling you, rather than what I've been served up so far this season. But there was some good goals. I think the first one was probably. I don't think there'll be a better goal you show tonight that will entertain me more than that first one.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Right. Has Thassos frozen?
No, Thassos hasn't frozen. I was doing probably my finger was stuck in front of my face, waving my finger around. But yeah.
No, your mouth was open. Like a Venus flytrap.
Yeah, it looks shocked.
That's gonna look good when I watch it back. Then it's gonna be great.
Well, double. Before we move on, what about the kits? Because I know you're a kit connoisseur.
Yeah,
was the orange one really bright? Was it loud?
Straight away, you're drawn to it. Obviously, all white kit is kind of the standard. Real Madrid and Swansea. I don't know why I said Swansea, but Swansea just came to my head as the white kit. I don't know why. Tottenham on occasion, but yeah, that was a very bright orange. Stand out. It's a shame you're wearing it and you're getting a bit of a spanking for but. Yeah, at least you look good getting beat. That's. I like bright kits. The brighter the better, the more vibrant and stand out. But no, it was. It was definitely a nice bright kit for sure.
There you go. Yeah. And that team that we were talking about that wore the bright orange kit. How many managerial changes did they have last season, Thassos? I lost count of 6.
They had 7 different coaches last season.
7. That's
7.
Yeah. It's almost as bad as Watford.
Well, they also had a bit of a PR nightmare with the 6th one, because he was a very famous Russian player and very famous in Russia, and he basically went to the press afterwards and covered the club in shit, just like the whole thing. Like he was saying the director of football was the one picking the players, making substitutions at halftime before he'd even go into the dressing room to talk to the players at halftime. There were things like they told him to sign a piece of paper and then he'd get his money for his compensation for his contract being cancelled. But because it was written in Greek, he didn't know. and the piece of paper apparently was saying things like he was rescinding the like he wouldn't receive any. He confirms that he doesn't want any of the money that he would have otherwise had.
Always get it checked before you sign anything.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. I mean, the guy they've got in charge now, he was in charge for the last 10 games of last season.
He's lasted longer than any other coach at the club last season.
Yeah, so he seems to, one, accept what's going on there, if what the other manager said is going on there. And 2, they also seem to be happy with him as well, which is weird considering the 6 people beforehand, they had lots of problems with him. But saying that, one of the people actually left to go to Stel's team.
And we won the cup.
But they were going to sack him anyway because he was playing. He played a player he wasn't supposed to play, because if that player had played more games, they would have had to pay more of a fee for the loan.
I see.
This is Cyprus.
This is
Cyprus.
But so that's going.
Let's move on.
There's a couple of things I wanted to talk about Bafo as well.
Oh.
So there's a player that started for Bafo. I'm gonna try and say this name, called Magomed Khabib Abdusalamov.
The striker, the Russian man.
Yeah. Now, he was on loan last season to a team that came second bottom, and they got relegated. And he played he started 4 times for them and only played 4.5 hours of football over a 40-game season?
Something like that,
Yeah. And his stats are 0 over that amount of time. Like no assists, no goals, no nothing. But he did get a red card in one game. Like in a game versus Paralimni, he came on in the 77th minute, got a yellow card in the 86th, and then a red card in the 88th minute. Now,
Talk about making you look.
Barfos, like the forward line of Barfos, they've got Gyro, who was top goal scorer last season. They've got Bruno, who they bought from Stel's team in January for quite a lot of money for the Cyprus League. They've got who else have they got? They've got this Davo, this 19-year-old Brazilian.
Davo, the Brazilian lad. They've got Tankovic that came from AK
They've got Muammar
Athens.
Tankovic. They've got so many attacking
Valakari.
players, and they decided to start with this kid. So I'm just going to leave that there because it's a bit weird, right?
Listen. I don't want to give my opinion on this because it'll get me into trouble. Okay, it will get me into trouble.
Are you going to run that? Are you going to run that gif of Mourinho saying it? Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because listen, if you know who runs that club, I am not going to say anything about their team selections because I value my life.
Yes. Yeah. But anyway, I just thought it was.
And
a
I'll
bit
tell
weird.
double A later who we're talking about, just so that you
Yes,
understand.
yes,
because that club, you don't. Anyway, shall we move on? Or have you got anything else?
Ins and outs at Bafor because they've signed 2 players since that game.
Nice.
They signed Pepe, which not that Pepe. Different Pepe, central midfielder from Olympiacos in Greece. He's a Portuguese central midfielder, and it looks like for people on that pay attention to us and or Cypriot football, it looks like he's a direct replacement for Kane because Kane is injured. It looks like he's a long-term injury.
Oh, the Senegalese lad.
Yeah, that they had from Olympiacos on loan last year that they bought this season. Can you hear the barking?
Is that your dog again?
No, it's somebody else's dog going apeshit. Anyway, I'm going to try and talk around that. Hopefully he's not getting picked up too bad.
It's all right. It's entertaining.
Okay, good. Right. So as well, they've brought in a new central defender, which I said they needed to for them to improve on last season, because one of the problems that they had last season was, especially towards the end, was a lot of defensive errors. So they brought in this Spanish player called David Goldar. He was at Celta Vigo, and then a load of Segunda or second division teams. I don't think it's called the Segunda anymore. But yeah, and Burgos. Sorry? Burgos. Okay. Yeah, Burgos. There's an outgoing. Lisandro is left. He's a 17-year-old who was thought of very highly by everyone. I think in the under-19s league in Cyprus, he scored 29 goals in 26 games. And he started to come off the bench for Barfos towards the end of last season. He had 2 appearances for him. And I personally thought that they were going to bring him in more this season, but instead they sold him to Genoa for 300 grand.
It's a good move.
Yeah, it's a good move for him. Yeah. So
are they Serie A or Serie B? I think it's Sampdoria Serie B, aren't they?
Yeah, still in Serie A, Genoa.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on.
So just a quick question. So in terms of the player going for 300 grand, in terms of Cypriot football, how does that work as a fee? How does that?
That's a pretty good fee.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good fee. I mean, Ioannis Bitas, who was the he was second top goal scorer. Or was he top goal scorer?
Yeah. Second top goal scorer,
last season, he was at Apollon, and they sold him for 900,000 to a team in
AIK.
Sweden, AIK.
Yeah, okay.
Now, now he's what? He's 28.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
28. He could be
So
28,
so he's at the peak of his career. Lisandro is only 17, so he's got
Gone.
so much ahead of him as well. So yeah, it's quite a bit of money, 300 grand for a 17-year-old.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Happy days. All right, let's move on. And Anorthosi, under new head coach Gallejo, got a 3-1 victory over Ethnigo. And would you believe it? Castel got 2 on his debut. Guerrero scored as well. But this is a team that, well, lost, but released, sold 12 players in the summer. They brought in 10. And some of them look all right, don't they, Thassos?
Yeah. Especially Castel when he came off the bench. Like the Anorthosis themselves, they were attacking quite a lot before he came on, but as soon as he came on, they were attacking with more urgency. They had a lot more creativity in the final third. They were very, very good, Anorthosis. Especially in the second half. First half, it was a bit more of an even game. You've got Achna here having a couple of chances, a couple of offsides. So this is this a pass back?
I think it is. What do you reckon, Double?
Yeah, that looked like a back pass to me then. It just.
I mean, it looks even worse in that angle. And yeah, if there you go.
Yeah.
Do you see that? There's the Achna player there who puts his hands up like, "Oh no, why did you do that?" I got a freeze frame of it in the notes as well, so Stel could put it back on later. But yeah, the Anorthosis basically in the second half they turned it on. And then Castel comes on, 2 goals and an assist. Fantastic.
You won't be happy with that
player.
one.
That was Guerrero, wasn't he?
Whoever it is, you won't be happy with it.
Yeah. There's Waris. Yeah. There's my man Waris yelling
Your
for
mate
the ball.
Waris,
Yeah.
Honestly. He's got his t-shirt as well. Where's the Waris t-shirt?
Oh no, I haven't got that on. I've got the Villa one. I'm representing in it because they won 5-0.
Well, Thassos, do you know what? It makes a change seeing Anorthosis fans celebrate because a few months ago they were throwing Molotov cocktails on the pitch. So
yeah, exactly. No, things are looking up for Anorthosis. I think they're shoo-ins for top 6, especially.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, I think they'll get top 6.
We're gonna have to put a bet on this one.
Well, I mean,
I'm not betting, man. It's haram. Sorry.
I put my money where my mouth is. I did that article, didn't I? That has all the positions. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And VAR was working. VAR was working fine this time.
Yeah. They sorted it out properly. Yeah, look, not
the lines are straight. Yeah, everything brilliant.
Yeah, they're figuring it out. I've got less and less to complain about this season. It looks like.
Yeah. Doublea, don't you think that kit looks like Deportivo's back in the day with Diego Tristan?
Yeah, I was going to say at first, after the first goal, it's also very reminiscent of Porto. I love Porto. It's sort of a team I look out for. But yeah, no, that Dreamcast, Diego Tristan and the Argentinian, what was he called? Dusha, the one that broke David Beckham's.
Aldo Dusha,
Yeah, Aldo Dusha, yeah, definitely reminds me of the most. I like a blue and white stripe. It's nice to like blue kits. Obviously, hated Manchester City as I do. When there's other teams that can wear blue, I'm all for it because I do like the colour blue, just not sky blue, really. So, but no, it's a nice kit. Yeah, like you say, definitely has that Deportivo vibe.
But they had Adidas last season. They're wearing Puma now, so I think the Adidas kit was gorgeous last year. I like the 3 stripes, man. I'm an Adidas guy, so
yeah,
But hey,
I agree.
Anyway,
Puma for me are very hit and miss. I think
very true. But Thassos, this one wasn't a bad free kick, was it?
Oh, this is a goal. Here it comes. Bam!
Nice,
Beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
And from that range, though, to be honest, it's difficult to get it over the wall and to get top bin as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. But, of all the players that Achna have brought in, Beckley Vanis has been kind of forgotten about a little bit because they bought like 348 players or however many they brought in. So many players. So, kind of like, I think, people probably didn't pay much attention to him coming in. But I think he's a solid signing for them. And they've kept Mario Elia as well, which I think is going to be very, very important for him. Because last season he was on loan to my team, Abuel. But they didn't have enough money to sign him permanently. So he's gone back to the team that they got him on loan from, who are a newly promoted team as well. So I think he's going to do very, very well for him.
There we go. Doublea is getting a bit of a football lesson with Cypriot football at the moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna chuck a load at you.
I'm enjoying it. That looked like a good game, to be honest with you. End to end again. That save at the end was absolutely outstanding from the keeper. And that free kick is, you were saying about the distance, how to get up. That the way he struck it is the perfect way. People go for the curl or go for power. That little clip is the perfect way to take a free kick. From that distance. And
they're a newly promoted team, to be fair on them, so they don't really have much of a budget as well. They've been struggling to bring in players. In all fairness, they can probably afford to pay a player 120, 150k a year. So they're scrapping for players everywhere. So it's very difficult for them, and it's going to be tight as well, given that, as I said, they've just come up. There's other clubs that are obviously better suited or better capable to compete, and it's going to be tough for them. But good luck to them anyway. Little team. Well, good luck to them.
Yeah.
Right. Have we got any unorthodox news? Any shenanigans? There's been no Molotov cocktails, no ultras spray painting the opponent's fan club, nothing like that.
No. I mean, sadly or happily, no. But it's just more transfer news, really. They've released reporter's nightmare of a name,
Hambartsumian, the Armenian
released
right back.
him. Yeah, so he's been injured since November or something.
Yeah,
he's been injured for a very, very, very long time, and they've released him now. He was at Anorthosis for 3 seasons, 86 times, 8 goals, 12 assists. But he's gone. Achna have signed a player called Lucas Bijker. I think Bijker. Bijker. He's from the Netherlands. That's Bijker, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
So he's represented Netherlands across all youth levels. He's played for Mechelen, Cadiz, Heerenveen, SC Cambuur, and Groningen. So he's a defender. He's a fullback. He's got 11 assists in 340 games. That's all. That's kind of the amount of data.
How old did you say he is?
He's 30.
He's 30. Okay.
He's 30, but he has represented the Netherlands at all youth levels. Now, your guy on Twitter, Cyprus Football N, labelled the signing as one of the best signings I've seen for a newly promoted club. And now if he does well, a top 6 club is going to snap him up. We trust Cyprus Football N because he knows a bit more about transfers than we do. I mean, I just go on Transfermarkt and go appearances, assists, goals, and then if there's a load of red cards, I go, oh, he's a bit naughty as well. So yeah.
Yep. All right, let's move on to our next game then. And shock of the weekend. No, it's not. It is. Apollon drew 1 apiece against newly promoted Othellos. Now, Apollon, who won the title 2 years ago, they got rid of a whole heap of players this summer, including Roberge, who was at Sunderland, Iliev, that had a pretty decent time at the club, Dabor, that was important as a striker, Mavrias, the right back, who's played for the national team. And they signed players such as Sagal, that gave them the lead on his debut, and Dariqua, who was at Wigan and Nottingham Forest, the right back. And they brought in Valbuena, 38 years old, but he didn't play the full 90 minutes, did he, Thassos? He was running on fumes.
Yeah, no, but you wouldn't expect him to either, especially since they were proper chucking everything to try and get the winning goal after Othello's equalised. But yeah, Sagal, great movement. I think it's more Hambos has done a lot of the work there. It was a great turn from him. He's facing away from the goal. He gets the cross in, and then whoever gets their foot on the ball there is going to end up scoring. And Sagal, the Chilean international, got onto there to score in his debut. Apollon, they're missing. We'll see from the chances they've missed. They're missing Bittas. They're really missing it. So here's the Othello's goal.
This is the rival goal. The rival goal. Here we go. Come on.
Wow. What a hit. A proper.
First game back in the league, and what a way to
Jesus.
You don't stop those, do you, Double?
Absolutely not. I won't even reach. I won't even go to dive. You just know. So it's one of them. So it's everyone says it, but it's one of them ones where as soon as it hits your boot, you know it's in the goal, don't you? It's an absolute worldie of a goal.
Yeah, the first touch was great as well.
Yeah, the little touch to get out of his feet as well, set it up with nice. Yeah, that's absolutely outstanding goal. Yeah.
There you go. Thassos, did you watch the game in full, or did you just catch the highlights?
No, I only caught the highlights.
I'd tell you what, watching this one, because I had a lot of time, obviously, to watch football. But I tell you what, Apollon, they just ran out of ideas. Second half especially. And it was just get the ball out wide, try and get it in the box. Get the ball out wide, try and get in the box. It was very similar to how Ajax play. But honestly, I don't know what they're going to have to do next, Apollon, because don't get me wrong, they had a pretty decent pre-season. But obviously that means nothing at this stage when you're in competitive match mode, so to speak. But when you're relying on 34-year-old Abdurrahimi, when you're relying on 38-year-old Valbuena, there's got to be cause for concern already at this stage of the season, because Dingini isn't the same player since he came back from the ACL. Obviously, they're missing Bitta. Kremenchik, again, he came back from a big injury and then he ended up in, where was it?
Indonesia.
Singapore, Indonesia, wherever it was. So it's practically a new team. I don't know how they're going to cope this season, man.
They need it. Basically, their forward line are basically all second strikers. They don't have the kind of play Bitta was, where he'd hang around outside the 18-yard box, get into the 6-yard box, wait for that cross to come in, just put that final touch in. We saw it from Sagal at the beginning of the match, but there wasn't that centre forward kind of just hanging around, just being a nuisance.
Yeah,
you see a lot of Apollon's highlights are from them coming in from the middle of the park and trying to force something. A lot of long shots, a lot of kind of not single chance, but people just trying anything and everything. It just wasn't working for him. I mean, Abdurrahimi, we saw it. He works well with a second striker up front, like Gyro, like what he did with Baffo last season. It's a sad state of affairs as well, because they're missing. They brought in this new goalkeeper, but he's not exactly Jovanovic, is he?
No, look, Jovanovic was one of the best goalkeepers the last 2 or 3 seasons, mate. And he's done really well for Partizan Belgrade already. Especially in the European qualifiers. So anyone to come in to fill his boots or fill his gloves, so to speak, are going to be under pressure from the off. But I think if I was an Apollon fan watching this game, my main concern would be not just the lack of goals, but the fact that Othello, 6 of their players had cramp in the last 20 minutes and they didn't exploit it. I was just, this is ridiculous. I mean, that's the closest that they came to scoring, that shot from Kremenchik. So, it's got to be concerning times. I know it's the first game, but you know what the fans are like out there, and especially after the season that Apollon had last year with 3 managerial changes, the fans turning on the board, the re-elections, etc., etc. the heat is on already, man.
Yeah. I mean, if they have another game like the one that they had against Karmiotis last season, there's going to be problems. There's going to be problems across the board for the people in charge of the club. Because, there were board resignations in that game. And then after that game against Karmiotis, and then because they brought in this new manager who managed to get the team performing well, everybody kind of forgot about it and said, okay, everybody, everything's fine. We'll carry on as before. And then they decided to sell off their best players. Goalkeeper's gone. Top goal scorer is gone. I think Roberge was the captain as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
captain gone. Who else? If
Varda left.
But but he can go. It's fine. But yeah, because I mean, with the chances that Apollon had in that game, the Othello's goalkeeper didn't have that much to do, did he?
No, they didn't. But when you look at the players that left, Shahar left, the midfielder. Hendy left. Alasami, the left back, left. Doublea, as I mentioned, he left. Honestly, the whole bag of Jovanovic, the centre back, left as well. Zradi left. Var, the winger, he's now in Djurgårdens in Sweden.
Yeah.
So these are big players that have gone. And granted, I'd say a lot of the signings that they brought in are decent, but none of them have played in the Cypriot League before. And to get them to mix, and obviously with the culture, with the weather is an easy thing to say, but it does play a part when you're playing in 35 degrees on a Sunday evening. It does play its part. And I worry for Apollon because I'm looking at their performance. And again, it's difficult to gauge from the first day of the season. Double will probably attest to this as well. It's difficult to gauge how a team's going to perform for the whole season after one game. But when it's so static, the performance, the lack of movement in the box, it's one-dimensional that their play was. And you're thinking, how are all these lot going to gel in such a short period of time? Double, like when you hear about 11 players joining a club, like in the UK, it's unheard of. But in Cyprus, it's a common thing. But this team won the league 2 years ago. I mean, they sat the coach at the beginning of last season before even the league game kicked off, and he won them the league title.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, unless you're Chelsea, I mean, you're used to about a million players coming in. Well, it's kind of like a Leicester story, isn't it? Winning the league, and then obviously we've seen the drop off that they've done a few years later, kind of get relegated. But yeah, to bring so many players in one summer, in one transfer window, you're kind of hoping and living on a prayer that they have to hit the ground running, because you can fall behind so quick in any football league. If that gel and that mix isn't right, and like you're saying, the performance wasn't right, they didn't look like they had any idea. They were kind of winging it and just looking for any kind of opportunity to try and get a win rather than having a maybe style of play and dominating the game kind of thing. It's worrying when a team does that, and unfortunately sometimes that can't be helped. Like you said, I think the league maybe forced that upon them, having played so many players leave, kind of thing. I think it's the first game, like you say, it's hard to say where a team's going to finish and how, if they can pick it up, but it's kind of one of them where it needs to happen quickly for them, for sure.
Yeah. Thassos, how many points did Apollon miss out on Europe? How many points behind were they? Because he went to the last game, didn't it?
It did go to the last game, yeah. It was between AEK, Apollon, and Bafo. I don't know if it was Bafo for the last game as well, but
it was.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. I think because AEK won and they were in that third position already, they were the ones that got through. So I still think it was like a 3-4 point gap. Yeah. But what happened was that Karmiotis game that I keep mentioning, they were, I think, in like 7th, I think, at that point. Yeah, and basically everybody all the fans were calling for heads to roll. So the manager who was in charge at the time resigned during the press conference. And then at 2:00 in the morning, the board resigned to say that, yeah, we're going at the end of the season. We're going to find other people to go in charge and we're going to resign at the end of the season. And then in the meantime, they brought in the coach that they've got now. Now, what that coach managed to do is managed to get them playing to a certain style. He had them very organized. He had a plan, and they looked completely different than what they look now. It got them so far pushed so far up the table just because of they were just winning game after game after game after game and winning it with style as well. Like to the point where it was, what was it, second to last game of the season that I went to go see him.
Yeah.
I went I was Abuela Bollon, and the game plan that they had in place was it was so difficult to break them down. Their attacks were like just fantastic. But again, they've basically wiped the slate clean. It's such a weird thing because what they were missing last season, they've upgraded. I think with the fullbacks, they had
Yes.
a load of different injuries to so many fullbacks.
Yes.
And they've upgraded their fullbacks now. And then they've just gone and dumped everything that was strong about the team.
Yeah.
Last season.
Centre backs, central midfielders, wingers, front line.
Everything. Everything.
They strengthened what needed to be strengthened, but then they weakened everything else.
Yeah.
It's just wild. It's wild. But anyway, this is Cyprus. This is Cyprus. And don't forget, they were supposed to play in the derby against AEL in December, and the game was cancelled before it even kicked off because there was a fight in the stadium. They set the stadium on fire, and the game wasn't replayed. So both teams got 0 points. And those 3 points could have made such a difference to our Bolon season. Could have made a huge difference. But anyway, it is what it is. You live and you learn. Actually, not in Cyprus. They don't learn. They never learn. Anyway, next game. A bit of a boring one, but AEL got a 1-0 victory over Doxa away from home as well. As you can see, loads of AEL fans, even though they're away. And one of the debutants scored the winner. Morse, the winger. But Thassos, AEL still have financial difficulties. They're still signing players on free transfers. The West was sent off, so they're going to be a central defender light. Granted, they've held on to Berahino, they've held on to Muriel, but Miralas is gone, Chibola has gone. They signed the lad from AFC Wimbledon, I forget his name.
Marsh.
Apologies. Marsh, yeah, the central midfielder that was in Spurs Academy. But I still feel fear for this club, man. I still feel fear for them. Listen, no disrespect to Doxa, but it's only Doxa.
Yeah. I mean, you see, there's only 2 stands in the stadium, right? And you see the away stand is full of AEL fans. If you look at the home
there's
stand,
apartments behind, for crying out loud. You can watch the game from your room.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah. So I mean, you just saw like a brief view of part of the homestand there. There's not that many people there, and yeah, Doxa. It's a strange one because Doxa have strengthened. They've got quite a few players, but I don't.
Well, it helps when your club president is a bloody agent. Come on.
Yeah.
I've said it. I don't care. I've said it. I don't care. It's common knowledge.
But yeah, there's not. I mean, kind of when I did the predictions, I assumed.
Actually, wait. Doublea. Is this a pen? Is this a pen?
It's hard to tell now, isn't it? I mean, I have to go off my team. We should have had one for something similar. I think. Does anyone? Yeah, that's a pen. I didn't see that. Yeah, that's a pen. I mean, he's almost double dribbled it. I mean, he's knocked it with his hand. That's a pen. That's got to be a pen. His arm's gone up to it and met the ball. Yeah, it's got to be a pen.
Well, this is Cyprus. Nope.
I knew that was coming.
He gave the penalty, and VAR called him back to say, "Are you sure?"
I think that's a pen.
So he went and looked at it and said, "No, okay, it's not."
Thassos, did Ernest play? I didn't even check.
I didn't check
think he
either,
did.
but I didn't see. I didn't see our man Dennis Bergkamp playing. So
No, he didn't. He didn't. No.
But yeah, I could walk this game. They hit the bar twice. Yeah, and just Foxhab didn't have much to give really. You know, set pieces.
You think it's going to be another relegation battle?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, my prediction was probably Othello, Sachna, and Aez still not being good enough teams to stay up. So Vox are just staying up just by default. But yeah, I guess it depends. It depends on the results that they have against those three teams, because they'll end up playing those three teams 4 times.
Yeah. I just I asked if the ball went out the stadium with the last shot because it hit the bar.
Oh yeah,
and it went
yeah,
out,
it did.
So.
It did.
They must lose so many balls.
What was he going for on this one? Oh, the elbow. How can I forget? Yeah, he's cracked him, hasn't he? The West.
Yeah, and then you see the West later. He's like holding it. He just left his shirt up high to be like, but he put my shirt up.
It's such a liability, man. It's unbelievable.
It's not even the first time he's done that. He did that last season as well, didn't he?
It's a liability. You just know, bro. Double. If you're a betting man, look for Ayer Limassol and try to put some money on the West getting sent off because it's going to happen at least 3 times a season, man. The guy's he's just wild, different, man.
He's a wild boy, isn't he?
Yeah. Any news from them though? They made the new signing, haven't they?
Oh yeah. So well, let me update Doublea on this. So IL had a press conference to talk about their new kit, and in that press conference, which was 2 weeks ago now, as of recording this, they revealed that Aaron Chibola was going to get sold to a team in the United Arab Emirates, which has happened. And that within 24 hours, they were going to announce the signing of Ezekiel Henty. Now, it's been 2 weeks. Still no news on that signing.
Like, signed him, but he's just not here.
Nothing. Like, he's shown up. His transfer's shown up on Transfermarkt. He's there. Apparently, they paid 20,000 euros for him.
But he's not actually there.
He's not actually there. He's not been announced yet. So that's the one thing. But they have actually signed someone. They signed a Serbian with 1 vowel in his name.
Is that even possible?
It's Srnic. Srnic. Anyway.
Which club is he from?
So he's from Red Star Belgrade.
Oh, okay.
Central midfielder, yeah. So I think they've got. I think that's a pretty good sign. I think it's a direct replacement for Chibola. That I think it's like for like. We'll see. We'll see how that turns out. Anyway, anyway for IL to perform better than they did last season, on top of everything else that they've got going on, they've also got to sort out their players to stop getting injured. Like it's been basically a year of injury crisis at IL. Miralas, obviously, he's a walking sick note. Berahino was injured for quite a lot. They had Alexander Kacaniklic.
Yeah,
Kacaniklic.
Say it right.
Kacaniklic.
That's it.
Kacaniklic. He basically did his cruciate ligaments in February, March.
Yeah.
And before that, he had like a good vein of form before that, and then he got injured. And just injury after injury after injury after injury. So on top of everything else that they've got to deal with, they've also got to make sure that the players stay fit. So we'll see if they can do that. But yeah.
Here we go. Okay. Let's move on to your team then. Your team needed Marquinhos to come off the bench to be newly promoted AES. So come on, Thassos, give us your evaluation of Sapinto's league debut as a head coach. The Portuguese wild man who's not a nutcase. He sweats about 15 buckets.
Yeah, I mean you'll see it in the highlights. Doublea. He's got you can see his moves when they come up. There you go.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, AES as well. They scared the team. Like they had a couple of attacks that scared the crap out of me, to tell you the truth. There's one especially that's going to come up a bit later, where Diwali basically just lets the runner run by himself, and Belic pulls off a good save. But yeah, Abuel, you're always going to have drama with Abuel, aren't you? It's going to have some difficulties. They like to make things difficult. You shouldn't have taken a team like Abuel to break a team down like AES.
But to be fair, they made a lot of changes though, because they got Ghent midweek. So
yeah, they did make a lot of changes. But even the team that played, you'd expect them to put AES to the sword quicker than what they did. So, for instance, Hefte Vidal played instead of Chebak, a left back. But he's a left back. Chebak isn't. So there's things like that. Tomane started instead of Kvilidaya, exactly the same as Kvilidaya last season. Lots of chances, not much. So yeah, this is the chance here where AES hit the bar.
Yeah.
Like unbelievable. There's as well. They didn't play Slenderman. What's his name? Pavlovic. They played Garamanolis instead in defense. But yeah, if you're going to play Garamanolis, I don't think you can play Diwali. You need to play Garamanolis with somebody with a bit more experience. Diwali, I think. Yeah, well, Crespo's injured. He had the injury.
Is he going to be out of the game against Ghent?
Probably, yeah, because he got injured against De La Gori.
Ouch!
Yeah.
Ouch! Oh my god!
Which isn't great. But yeah, Marquinhos is a good. If he does end up being second choice, this bloody thing. Yeah. If Marquinhos
he just launched the throw. It just almost bounced in.
Yeah, but I know if it had gone in, it would have been a goal kick.
What is Belic doing?
I don't know, man. I don't know. And then, last kick of the game, second goal.
Cometh the hour, cometh the man.
Yeah, Marquinhos.
Is he still owed money, by the way? They still owe
Probably. Money? I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past it past Manidara.
That's a great first touch, though, man.
Yeah. He's a very, very, very good player. He's a very good player. Again, another team. Abuel suffered a lot of injuries last season. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, let's see how you guys do this season. Let's see how well you guys do, because I still think you're a few players short, to be honest. But
I'm not worried in an attacking sense. It's the defense. It's the defensive stuff. If we're having to rely on Diwali all season, then it's gonna be
There's gonna be problems. There's gonna be problems.
But as well, the tactic that Sapinto plays looks like it favors, like I said before, a 5-man defense, 3 central defenders, and then the wing backs rather than 2, and then fullback attack, because the fullbacks in his system attack a lot, which means there's a big old space in between the fullbacks and the defenders in the transition, which both teams that we've played in Europe so far have tried to take advantage of previously. So Vojvodina did it, De La Gori did it as well. especially with that Thierry Gale that they had.
He's going Midtjylland.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. He'll probably get picked up from somebody else from Midtjylland as well next season. He's a very, very good player. Keep an eye on him.
Yeah. Doublea, I wanted to ask you a question about, the whole inverted fullback thing that Guardiola likes to play. But with Abuel, their fullbacks usually end up in centre forwards positions, which is something I haven't seen ever, really, which is a strange thing. But it probably isn't fair for me to ask you what you thought of their performance, because it was practically a second string team that was put out there because they're preparing for the game against Ghent. But did you see any form of attacking prowess? I mean, I know there was that bit at the end where Ndongala kind of like ran through someone and was 1-on-1 with a goalkeeper. But was there anything there that made you think that this is a team that can cause others problems if they were against a team that was less organised?
I mean, the fact you said it was a second string. I mean, it bodes well. You can do that and still get a 2-0 win away from home. I think that's credit to them for doing that. And your man who come on, that second goal was class, really. That first touch, and then to take it away from the keeper like that, absolutely bang on. I think, when did they finish last season? Second in the league last season. So do you feel they can mount a challenge again this year, or
no? They're ask
the fan.
So they will challenge again. Now I put my balls on the table and said they're probably going to finish second again, just because of how powerful the champions were last season, and kind of how, we'll see their highlights kind of later on. But I see them coming up to that same point again. It's just that they need a couple more defenders. It's that central defensive partnership. So, for instance, we've got this injury now. Crespo is out of the team, which means that we're having to play Vali as the experienced defender. And
he
I had a problem.
Sporting Lisbon, for crying out loud. He's 28 years old. He's a Georgian international. You can't tell me he's a bad player, man. Come on.
I mean, I can, because I am.
Come on. Nah, man. I think he's decent.
No, listen. Last season, when he played, he was not the best. I keep going back to there's a game where there's Sacha, there's a corner coming in, and Sacha is jumping up to header it, and he's marking his own player, and he's climbing over his own player to header the ball away. And what he does instead is he heads the ball up, and then the ball lands at the attacker's feet behind him, and they score a goal.
But that's one mistake.
Well, okay. Let's go to the highlights of the game there.
One mistake.
Let's go to the highlights of the game that we just watched, right?
But one mistake.
One mistake. He was asleep. Ball over the top. He's gone. The player is supposed to be attacking. He's gone. He's gone behind him. And Belic has to deal with it.
I mean, that's a worry, because your keeper can't even watch a throw-in coming in the box.
Exactly. That's even worse.
That was a bit worrying.
So being a Villa fan and having to deal with Peter Enkelman doing the thing that he did against Birmingham City, absolutely. I know what it. I know, like, the whole rules, all the rules about throw-ins and what happens.
Your keeper must have to as well, to be fair.
Yeah. So, if Belic had left it and it had gone in, it would have been a goal kick. If somebody else somewhere had touched it before it'd gone in, it'd be a goal. But if it hadn't, you can't score direct from a throw-in.
It's just the positioning was very, very worrying. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And you talk about the Ankelman one, very famous one in the Premier League, but I mean, you won. It's nothing to worry about, and it's
Yeah.
the
I mean,
moment
it's
you
nothing
can
to
all
worry
laugh
about there.
about. You can all laugh about it.
Yeah,
Can't you?
exactly. If that happens against Ghent, I think there's going to be some effigies.
Again, I'm not going to talk about your fans. I've already had it in the neck from them enough times. Fucking hell, mate. Fucking hell.
Oh, dear.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's move on because this one, the original highlights were 11 minutes and I cut it down to 5. So I'm sorry, boys. Just so much happened in this one because my team, Omonia, gave Salamina a slapping that they deserved after they did the double over us last season. We beat them 4-0, albeit Salamina had 10 men. Thassos, we had worries about a possible European hangover after being shafted in Denmark. But, you know, your guy Semedo got on a score sheet. Okay, they gave it as an own goal, but I think he got the last touch. But that's just me being biased. Gaguli came off the bench, my good mate, scoring twice. And an own goal as well. But we battered them for 90 minutes, man. It was scary.
It was like as soon as Omonia or if they do go for the kind of the goal scoring striker that they need, as soon as they have that forward player, then people should get, all the teams in the league should get very scared, especially if everybody stays fit, because Semedo, again, I call him the assist king. I said he can't finish to save his life. Even there, got given as an own goal instead of him scoring it. But yeah, they've got the forward line that Omonia seem to be building at the moment, especially behind a centre forward who'd be able to get into those positions to score the goals. Is very scary. So you've got Semedo, you've got Bezos. If he keeps his form up, is going to be scary. You've got Simic, and then you just need that one forward who's going to be able to get the goals. Now, obviously, I'm saying that even though Omonia has scored 4, but it could have been there's no exaggeration. It could have been 10. It could have been if it wasn't for Melissas, the goalkeeper for Nea Salamina, it could have been 10.
And poor finishing. Let's get it right.
Yeah. I mean, there was
I'm
some
not
poor
going to give them
finishing
their
as well.
flowers completely because while it was a convincing performance, as you said, it could have been 10 because we had so many chances, especially second half, to really put out a statement of intent. Don't get me wrong, 4 goals are great. You don't want to use up all your goals, as they say, but we weren't as clinical as I would like us to be honest.
Yeah. I think that's that one missing piece, isn't it? It's the centre forward that scores loads of goals. Because
but the thing is, we haven't had
Karim,
that. But we haven't had that striker since Matt Derbyshire. Since Darbs was playing, we haven't had that kind of centre forward. Okay, Shepovic came in, and he scored like 7 goals, which in January, or from January to the end of the season, which won us the league a couple of years ago. But since Matt, we haven't had that killer, that gunman. And look, Karim Mansarifad has been brilliant for us, but he could have had a hat trick. Simic could have had 2. It was, Koulibaly at the back was just immense, just ragdolling your mate Doregaray. I mean, I love Diego, don't get me wrong, but this should have been more than 4. I'm sorry, and this is just me being critical, or maybe just greedy. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, they completely done him. Loco, man, that's
he's trash. I'm sorry, he's trash. He really is bad. He really is bad. And no disrespect, man, but he's bad. I mean, even Bezos was shooting from corners, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, but there you go again. Melissas with the saves. Yeah. So again, Omonia are going to be a scary proposition. It depends just depends who they're going to have up front. Because like you said, Karim, he missed a few chances. Gagulis, he has his moments. Like he scored 2 here. But he's not the finished article. I think it's something that you're saying as well. You say a lot is that he's still learning. He's still so that the blah, blah. there needs to be that centre forward, that finisher, get 15 goals, get something.
We could get him. We could get that Salamina player to play up front. That's a great
finish. Jesus Christ. I think he's the one who's at fault for the 4th goal as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. So.
With the great pass to Gagulis.
Yeah. and the fans brought in a fuck Nazis flag as well. So pretty chuffed about
that. Yeah, you know you're going to get fined about a fine for that as well, right? Look at that, great headed pass. Oh yeah, no, Omonia, the club are going to get fined for that.
You're going to get fined. No, I'm not going to get fined. It's not my fault. The club blames me for a lot of things, but not that. But yeah, no, listen, I'm pleased with the result. Obviously, starting the season with a 4-0 win is important. It's great for the confidence as well. And the thing is, I was talking to Bash yesterday, Bashiru, and I said to him, you guys played with a lot more intensity than you did last season in terms of the aggression, the pressing. And he goes, yeah, after the Midtjylland game, the head coach was really beating himself up, and he was like, I should have done this. We should have been more aggressive. We should have been more this. And they had a debrief, and he said, right, from now on, we just go like animals. That's just what it is. And that's what we want to see. That's what you want to see. I know you hear about commitment and you hear about fight and all that kind of stuff, but this is something that we've lacked for a good few years now. Cunts in the team, pardon my language. You need those kind of players. You can't have fannies, I'm sorry. And these guys, the other day, and especially the qualifiers, I think they did themselves justice. But Double, I want to ask you a question, actually, because this is something that I was talking to my friend about the other day. That was Omonia's first league game as the rest of the league, so to speak. But because Omonia have had quite tricky European games, but a weak pre-season, I kind of felt that the European games, even though we got knocked out, that was a better preparation than the actual European games, because the stamina levels were better, the intensity, as I said, the aggression, everything. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
Oh, absolutely. I think, not only are you physically more up for it, mentally you are as well. I think it prepares you on both facets of the game, mentally and physically. And you think, the jeopardy of European knockout football or prelims or qualifiers and all that, there only is a lot goes into it, and a lot can make or break a team's season. And sometimes I see it with my team and most teams. It's just a kick about some friendlies in pre-season. It's mainly all about just getting minutes in the legs, isn't it? And testing yourself physically to see where you are in preparation. Having these qualifiers early on before a ball's been kicked in your domestic league is 100% gonna get you more up for a game as well. And I think that's the best game I've seen so far out of the highlights. I think that they look the fittest, they look the sharpest. Well, I say the sharpest, not in front of goal. I mean, how many chances do you want to miss? Yeah. I mean, like you're saying, you get a top quality finisher in that team, and you probably are reaching double figures in that game. Also, I have to say as well, I forgot to mention at the start, obviously I don't have a team in this league, so I was going to say I need some pointers, but going off the kit there, that green shirt, I think I've found my team, guys. I've got to be honest with you.
Yes, come on,
that shirt is outstanding. The deep green and gold, I'm all over it. So it's a fickle way. It's nothing to do with football, I know. And obviously, I am a kit person, but I think my heart's been taken, guys.
Well, mate, do you know what? To be honest, you are in the same boat as most of our supporters, because we haven't had a kit like that in a long time. Last season we had the hoop ones. The Celtic looking hoop ones we had last year. The year before was a plain white, and they do try various colours sometimes. We had a mint green one. I don't know if you remember in the game at Old Trafford. When Francis had a blinder, we probably wore this like mint green kit. We've never had a mint green kit in our history. So I don't know what possessed them or Macron to produce that kit. But they've pulled a blinder with this one this season. I think it's a 75th anniversary kit as well. So it's a gorgeous one. The white one's nice as well, to be fair, but the green one is Yeah. I think even Thassos secretly likes it. I think he secretly likes it.
No, what I said was the announcement video was good. Yeah, compared to what Abuel did with the...
Yeah, Omoni's announcement video was pretty basic, but it was a good one, you know. But
Yeah.
Abuel's one, they had CGI balls being flown all over the place. There's a hologram. And you're going to love this one. Sorry, Thas, I'm going to have to steal your thunder. Have you ever heard of CapCut? You know, the video editing software on your phone?
Well, didn't have the watermark on.
Mate, they did it on CapCut and they left the end screen. So once they've done the video, it says CapCut on it and they released it.
Amazing. That's fantastic.
Which is really annoying because I really like our kit this year as well. It's got like a... So blue and yellow is the colors of the team, but they've kind of the way that they've done it with the stripe size is kind of increasing and decreasing, and like the shades of the blue and yellow going in and out as well. It's a really nice looking thing. At least I like it. Anyway, I like it a lot.
You ain't selling it to him. He's decided.
But it's just the announcement video. There's one where they throw the CGI ball at the goalkeeper, and he goes,
"Oh, that's."
He picks it up where he thinks the ball would be, and then kind of throws it in such. Yeah, the ball is moving in his hand, and then he throws it in such an unnatural way. It's like he's almost doing a Hadouken from Tekken, from Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
Just
you sway me now. I need to see this video, and this might the bad acting might sway it. No, I'm joking.
It's like there's another thing where Marquinhos, the guy who scored the 2 goals in the highlights there, he's doing like tricks with this CGI ball. He's making it go on his shoulders like that, and then he's like, doing his face and his eyebrows, being like, oh, look how great this is. Oh God!
I actually felt sorry for. Go on.
I was going to say, do you mind? Cristiano Ronaldo did an advert not too long ago when he's playing a game and he scores, and all of a sudden he changes into this weird orange kit, or yellow kit, and he looks and he's acting, he's terrible, and it just like you think, why did he do these adverts? Like, obviously, I know it's like in a country that's not necessarily going to be seen where they're playing and they get paid ridiculous amounts of money, but sometimes you just think to stick to football and let actors do this. You know.
Well, see, I don't mind that. It's just the way that they edited the ball on him.
Bad.
It's really bad. I'm going to try and find it now. If you want to bring up the next game.
The best part, apart from the CapCut bit at the end, was the captain where it's like a hologram. He's kind of popped up and he's like pointing at the badge and he's doing this and doing this, and he's like, "What do I do next?" Oh yeah, this, and it's just
fantastic.
It's like you can tell someone's in the background going, "Pose that way, pose." No, not like that. Do it again, but we're not going to fucking edit it. Leave it. Doesn't matter. It was bad.
It's like when you get child actors in a film, and you can clearly see they're looking at the mum to tell them which way to look or point or what to say.
Although what I will say, the best marketing advert for the new kit has to be Aris one, and I'll send you Aris one because Aris are clear when it comes to social media, when it comes to pretty much everything, and their Adidas kit launch was gorgeous. It was a work of art, literally. So speaking of Aris, this is our last game. We've done an hour and 14 minutes, bro. Thank you for hanging on. It's probably the shortest pod we've done, to be honest. But yeah, here we go. Aris beating AEK by 2-0. And first of all, shout out to Morgan Brown because he said he was looking forward to this review. So Morgan, I know you started this game, mate, and you had a pretty decent game, but you could have done better, mate. You could have done better. I know his dad is watching, so hello, Mr. Brown. Goals from Montnor and Spoljaric gave Aris the victory. But Thassos, this didn't seem like the AEK of last season, did it? They seemed pretty toothless, if you ask me. A bit wasteful, and defensively, crikey, my goodness, this goal, Monto, don't take anything away from him, but the defending was trash.
Defending was bad,
Pirich.
and then Pirich. Oh no!
What's happened to
like
this
my
keeper,
son
man?
says.
Are they doing the gritty as well? Oh, get out of here! I did not see that. Sorry. I saw that. Oh my god.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's just the way. I don't know what's going on with Ajax, because on paper they seem to have strengthened. Like they got Gatelaris from the team in Belgium. They got Roberge. They got they all update their fullbacks. They've brought in what's his name, Franz Sol. Is that the striker?
Franz Sol, the striker,
Facundo Santos in fullback. You know, and they've kept a lot of the players that were amazing for them last season as well. So, you know, you would have expected this game to be like kind of how it was last season whenever this game came up. Loads of goals for both teams, like up and down, like a basketball match. It just didn't look like it happened this time around, did it? But yeah, Pirich fucking up. It's to the point now where it's getting contagious. So yeah, Van Alves dropping that cross.
To be honest, I think that's the first mistake Van Alves has made in the 3 years he's been at the club.
Yeah,
so
yeah. That's what I mean. The Pirich seems to be devoid of confidence, and it's rubbing off on the players in front of him. I think it's there's something needs to change, and it needs to change sharpish for Ajax.
Yeah, but bro, you say that they haven't been the same since West Ham spanked them.
Yeah,
they haven't been the same defensively as well. They've been terrible, absolutely terrible.
Yeah, exactly. But that's it. I don't know what changed after that West Ham game.
Self-belief? I
don't know. I mean, if self-belief was a problem, then they wouldn't have celebrated like they won the bloody thing in the changing room afterwards.
Well, we got pulled up on that, didn't we? Who was it that told us? Was it Manu Garcia?
Yeah. Manu. Yeah, I was having a go about them celebrating, and Manu turned around and said, "Well, no, you know, you're playing, you know, against Premier League opposition."
But he's just being modest. This is a guy that scored against Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, man. Of course, he's going to be a little bit modest. But
yeah.
Morgan should have scored, by the way.
Yeah, come on, man. We need to see a banger. You already had one. You already had a banger this time last season.
There he is, Morgs. Hey, that way, this lad was at Leicester's academy, and he ended up at Aberdeen, and then he got a chance in Cyprus with this team. They were in the second division at the time, and he's seen the bad times and he's seen the good times. They won their first league title in 93 years last season. Mm-hmm. So he's been part of the big process, and here's our mate Shpilevsky. He's the Mourinho.
He loves his guys.
He loves his guys, So yeah, good win for him. So start as you mean to go on, as they say. So Addis, we're coming for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Because they didn't even play. You know, they didn't play that front three that everybody's scared of as well. They played Montno. They played Montno. They played. I think they played a different tactic as well, didn't they? They didn't even play the same kind of tactic.
Yeah, because Bengtson started on the left, didn't he?
Yeah.
Bengtson started on the left. Mayambella was up front as well. But yeah, no, Babika wasn't even on the bench, was he?
No.
Babika wasn't even on the bench. So yeah. They're a dangerous team, man. They're a scary team. So I don't think that they're going to fall off, in all fairness.
The only thing that they need again, central defender. I think they need to upgrade on Musunda and who's the other one? Musunda and Yago's a fullback.
So what are you talking about? Brorson?
Yeah. So they need an upgrade on those two, I think.
Well, look, the way I see it is,
I mean, they don't need an upgrade because I want Abuel to win the league. But you know, if for them to be sure to win the league the second time in a row, they need to upgrade their defense.
Well, put it this way, it was an entertaining game. I kind of expected it because I remember the game. What was it? Was it in November where it ended 4-3 to Ajax? And that was just literally end to end. So these
basketball
two,
match,
all they know is how to attack double. These two teams,
Really?
defensively, they're all over the place, but attacking, it's frightening. And Addis, the team that won the game, that front three isn't their first choice front three. I think one of the three is first choice. But they've got a couple other players, and they're scary. They're scary in terms of their pace. Yeah. Young players, African lads that were scouted very, very well. They play for their national teams. One of them, Babika, is from Gabon, so he plays with Aubameyang in the national team. Yeah. And they've got a lot of hopes for him. And it's understandable. And Mbembe's South African international. So, and
Gomis is
he from Senegal? I don't know. I don't want to get that wrong.
Yeah.
Don't want to get that wrong.
I don't want to get it wrong either. That's why I put you on the spot.
Oh, cheers, mate. Flipping hell, this guy. This guy. He's from Senegal. He's from Senegal, yeah. There you go. He signed a new contract as well. So, yeah, Double, what did you make of that? Did you feel a little bit entertained?
Yeah, like I say, there was chances for either side there. Really, it was like you say, end-to-end stuff. It looks like these teams like to get at each other, and I think they realise maybe each team, the other team has maybe deficiencies defensively, and they know how to get at each other. Like say that game last season 4-3, this was 2-0, but it could have been another game like that. Really, like say the chances are plenty each way. Now I was pleasantly surprised, especially you think. Team that won the league maybe would be a little bit more defensively sound, but like I say, when you've got attacking players, when you can bring on your second choice front three or most of, and they can go and produce like that, you kind of well stacked in that area. It's one of them ones. Was it Real Madrid and Manchester United of old would be you score 3, but we'll score 4 or 5, and I think that sometimes is enough to get you over the line in certain games and in league titles as well, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to Addis in their their Europa League qualifier, the playoff. Unfortunately, they dropped out of the Champions League, but they still got the opportunity. They're guaranteed European football because they're guaranteed the Conference League. So, fingers crossed, we'll see more of them in Europe, and obviously Morgan on the pitch. See, I keep bigging him up because he watches the show. So, if I don't do it, then he's
I've got. You mentioned something. During the game. I've got a T-shirt idea. We'll have a little discussion after. Yeah. I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay. Well,
I think he'll enjoy it as well once he sees it.
We'll certainly discuss it. Well, look, is there anything else on the ticket? Because I think Double is falling asleep.
Not for me, man. I got nothing. The
other day I was on Saeed's podcast talking about United, enjoying his time, and then he comes on this. He's like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
No, honestly, no, don't say that. This is
I'm joking, my guy. I'm joking, honestly.
But genuinely, it's nice. It's good to learn. Like football, I've never really watched. Like I say, other than against Manchester United, it's good, mate. Eye opener, and now I've got a Cypriot team. I'm good to go now. I'm invested now.
Excellent.
Absolutely invested.
Excellent. I need to find your Instagram so I can follow you now. I'm following you on the other account, I think.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
So, I'm gonna put a link. I'm gonna put a link to Abwell's announcement video for the new kit in the chat, so we can get a live reaction if you want to click on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just hang about. Let's. Oh my god. Is it coming up? Okay, hold up. 1 minute. Hold up. Technical problems. Hang on. Share screen. Oh, good God. This is it, isn't it? Are you ready?
Can't wait.
Can you see it? Can you see it? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go. Press play.
Bloody loud, isn't it?
Cap cut.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Here we go.
What do I do next? Oh, yep. Okay, turn around. That's it.
Oh,
One
fantastic.
more.
He's fantastic.
Oh, look at the sleeves.
Oh, poor Crespo, man.
He didn't even get the badge properly.
Oh, God, Marquinhos, my boy. What are you doing?
Oh. That's better than I thought it was going to be. Oh, my days.
Oh, okay.
I'm the dance.
Don Gala. I think he drew the longest straw, didn't he? He just touch the badge,
there you go.
brush it off. That's it. No problem. That's fine. That's acceptable.
Yeah.
But then, poor guy.
That was outstanding.
Now, please tell me they kept the same one and they've still got the cap cut bit at the end. Please. Yes.
Oh, no. That is fantastic.
Come on.
Oh, dear.
Did that say from 2023 to 2027? You have the shirts.
No, so it's the sponsors. The sponsors are staying.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Yeah, Champions League quarterfinalists, man. Champions League quarterfinalists. These people.
I don't think you can brag about that anymore after seeing that.
No, it's terrible. Oh God.
The graphics around me. Have you ever seen any of them films on like Sci-Fi, the channel? Them weird sort of alien films when you look like they're nowhere near the actors whatsoever.
Yeah, it's aliens but with a Z. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it looks like.
Oh mate, do you know what? I don't know what's going to happen when these clubs discover AI. Honestly,
imagine that's going to be something. That's please let it. But when you do, please let me know. Straight away.
For sure. And I'm gonna send you images of new kits and all sorts of stuff when you. It's gonna be.
I want every single announcement video. I'm gonna have to follow all the teams on social media now. So I need to see this. This is fantastic.
Excellent. Well, bro, thank you so much for joining us, man. Really appreciate it. Before we let you go, or before we wrap it up, let everyone know your Instagram, your Twitter, everything. I'm gonna put it in the description anyway, but.
Yeah, no, honestly, guys, thank you so much for the invite. It's honestly a pleasure to be asked to do anything like this. Obviously, like you say, I know you like to bring people in that don't know about sort of Cypriot football, but the fact you've asked me, mate, honestly, I really do appreciate it. Doublea, it's obviously because I love Brazil. I go for the fush your ball rather than football or whatever. So that's how you can find me on Twitter, Instagram. I do obviously Talking Kit is the football kit channel. We have Full Kit Rankers, where we sit down and we rank 10 shirts from a league, team, player. And now I've watched some football from this league, I feel we need to do a Cypriot League episode and have you guys on as well. I think that would be
we're up for it. We're there.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure I find some good internet for that.
Yeah, we'll definitely get that. Get yourself an Ethernet cable, and then you're sorted. That's all you need to do. That's what I had to do, and I'm golden. I also do my own football content as well. So Doublea FC on YouTube. It's United heavy sometimes, but I am going to move. I've done a few videos, but I am going to do football. I'm going to have to do the best announcement videos, and I'm going to have to do that video you just showed me. I think that's a video in itself. To be honest. And like I said, obviously, I United Stand, I'm on. Saeed, I'm on every Sunday with Andy Tate and Flawless for the Unfiltered podcast. And you can just see me around doing little bits here and there. But yeah, get involved. Come and say hello. It's always nice to meet new football fans and be experiencing different types of football because, yeah, like you guys, I'm an absolutely massive fan. But make sure, if you're not already, you're subscribing to these guys, you're following these guys because, yeah, it's brilliant. It's nice to see different types of content and being involved in it for sure.
No, we appreciate it, man. And again, we appreciate your time. It's been absolutely brilliant having you on, and hopefully you can come back on another time and
anytime you want,
see how these clubs have developed.
I need to watch. I need to watch my new team now. So anytime you want me on, just get at me for sure.
Well, the podcast platform that you're on right now, we actually do a review show for Omonia. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be on it now.
There you go.
I'm going to follow them on FOTMob, so I know when they're playing and I can see all the results.
See, you're part of the family now.
I'm invested.
That's it. Part of the family. That's it. When you're green, that's it. That's it. That's all. Tell everyone your socials, my friend.
Flares Gaffes, Twitter, Instagram, website. I got the website. I tried to start doing the articles again. I did the predictions. I put my balls on the table. People can do whatever they want with them. Yeah, I know. I didn't know how that sentence was going to end when I started it. But yeah, Flares Gaffes, Gaffes Flares. Any way you put those two, you'll be able to find the content that I put out. But more importantly, we've got the Facebook group. We've got the This Is Mappa Facebook group. We've got the Discord. We've got the Instagram. We've got the Twitters, X, whatever you want to call it now. What else have we got? You do TikToks as well, don't you, Stel?
Sometimes. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, excellent work, James. Very good, very good. So as Thassos said, we're on Instagram and Twitter or X at This Is Mappa. We'll be back very, very soon. Kalinichta, adios.